Yo, mic check, 1, 2, mic check. What's happening, people? This is my Saturday, but it is not Saturday. It is only, the 21st. It is 4/21/22, and certainly hope everybody is doing well. And quite a week we've had here online. It's been a while. We got a possible purchase by Sony. We've got Sony doing ads in games for my understanding is for free to play games or something like that, to allow the people that make those games to monetize, which is something similar to what Microsoft is doing. So the people who are making fun of Microsoft now, they look stupid at this point. But Sony is looking to roll a program out later this year. We'll look into that. You got you people finally got your ridiculous God of War update from the man himself, the guy who created the last God of War game. He put out a statement, and I don't know how the game is delayed when it has no release date or window. But once again, you have to understand that there's a bunch of envious, butthurt people who because God of War isn't coming out on their platform of choice, they're going to say the game was delayed. If Cory Barlog had said the game was coming out, let's say Cory Barlog said the game was coming out September 18th. They would have then said, the same people would have said, well, yeah, it's coming out, but it's going to be downgraded because it's cross-gen. That's what they would have said. So, and everybody knows that, because everybody knows these guys' books. They're upset, they're envious, they're jealous. I think they're more jealous now. I thought they were envious, but as somebody who had a 360, I still remember purchasing a game called Final Fantasy 13 when it came out on the 360. And when I bought this game on the 360, I asked all my friends who had a 360, are you playing Final Fantasy 13? And they all said no. And at that point, it literally was like a light bulb went off. It's like, this isn't about them playing the games. This is about, they don't want any games on any platforms that they can't get access to. So yes, they don't like the fact that God of War is going to come out this year. They don't like that. I mean, and I was on shout out to Porter Rock, 60 frames, no frames last night. I'm like, we're almost out of April. We're coming out of April, and Microsoft has yet to put any games out this year. They haven't put anything out. That's why these cats are bigging themselves up to Elden Ring. They don't even play Elden Ring. They don't play games like that, but because they have access to it, well, this is the game of the year. This has to be the game of the year. I'm like, no. There's plenty of other stuff coming out that could be game of the year. So, which is an opinion, but yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. But just people got to understand that about, and then these cats get into it with them. Like, look, these dudes are jealous that they don't have access to what some other people have access to, and that's what this is about. Okay, so JP Local, shout out to him, says Forbidden West proved the cross-gen delay downgrade wrong. I don't deny that, but that's not going to stop people from saying that it will be. Again, if he had, but because he did not announce a release date, Cory Barlog, he didn't say we were going to release it in September. It allows them to say, well, the game is delayed. I mean, how is the game delayed when it has no release date, no window? Does that make sense? That's like somebody saying, God of War, Thor: Love and Thunder is delayed. I mean, I don't know if it has a release date yet or not. So it can't be delayed. It's not pushed back. All right. So, but the reason they're saying it is because they got nothing else to talk about except Starfield. And I hope to God Starfield is what they're claiming it, because if it's not, if there's one thing wrong with Starfield, what they will say is if there's something wrong with Starfield, these guys will say, well, the reason why you're talking about it is because it's not on the PlayStation. You're just jealous. That's what they're going to say. So they set up these straw man arguments. And then when it don't go their way, they bitch out and they run. That's what they've been doing. So, again, something that's announced, I can see if they said Thor Love and Thunder comes out August 18th. And then we roll around to late July, and then they say, yeah, well, we're going to push it back till September 5th. That's a delay. But God of War, Corey Baller, I watched the video. The man clearly did not give any kind of date or timeline. Now, he didn't say either way. So whether it comes out this year or not, it will more than likely come out this year. It's been 4 years. It was 4 years yesterday. Happy birthday to 4-year birthday to God of War. So and again, you just have to be patient. So, but I'm glad that he at least came out and he said something, and that at least those people who keep on asking about it, because what I think is happening is that these cats are just coming online and they're just saying things to drive traffic to their channels. So, and then they want to blame Sony for not putting information out. And it's like, Sony has never put out a bunch of information. They never have. That's why people are like, yeah, they're going to be doing this and they need to give a game update. They've never done that. So they're not going to start all of a sudden. They do their state of plays. Which for me personally was an answer to the people who were claiming they aren't doing enough. It's like, okay, well, you have these state of plays, and then when a state of play gets announced, these guys run around and say, well, the state of play is going to have God of War. It's going to have God of War. And then the state of play comes out, and Sony puts out what the state of play is going to have in it. They put out the itinerary, and these cats are like, no, there's got to be God of War. No, there's got to be, no, because that's what they need to put traffic to their channel. Again, let me make this clear. You all have got to understand there are people who are making, YouTube does the internet throws a ton of money at these content creators. I'm talking about they're making ridiculous money. And so, but they can't make no money if there's no traffic coming to their channels. You see what I'm saying? So they will take things that are in Reddit. So I'm going to do something here, and I'm glad you all are here because I'm announcing it right now. I am going to drop false information in Reddit. It's going to be false. I'm going to call myself BD Daddy. Okay. I'm going to create, I guess I have to create something for Reddit in order to get something started. So I'm going to create a false story in Reddit, and I'm going to see if it gets picked up. Okay, we'll see if it gets picked up, because these guys just they're just desperate at this point, and I'm cracking up because I get it. They're fans of God of War, they're fans of Silent Hill, I get that, but they're at a point now where they're just making shit up. And they're getting it from such weird corners, like no verifications, nothing has been, nothing has been looked into or sourced. It's just, well, I'm gonna report this story. It was in this, it came from here, and clearly the site you got it from, it was a big ass rumor. So. But we're going to just drop. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I'll just say that I'm going to report in Reddit that Factions 2, which I don't even play. I mean, you all know that, right? I don't even play those type of games. Factions 2 is going to release, I'll say July 18th. I'm just going to say, July 18th, Factions 2 from Naughty Dog. And we're going to see if it gets picked up and people run with it. And if they do, I'll just, we'll just all kick back and laugh our asses off. So, but enough of me. What are you all playing? I am trying to figure out. I finished Madden. I didn't finish it. I finished that season of Madden, and I'm trying to mod Madden at this point to give me the Bengals team that's available now. And I messed up. I did some stuff wrong, so I'm having to start over again. And just simulate the season. I mean, there ain't no way in hell the Bengals are going to get to the Super Bowl and lose it. But that's the season I had. I actually got the Bengals. This year's Bengals team, the only I think I signed Richard Sherman. He was a free agent cornerback, led the league in interceptions. He had 13 interceptions. So, but I think my team led the league in interceptions. So, I'm working on that today. I finished Cyberpunk, the Street Kid, or whatever it's called. There's three types of people you can be a cyberpunk for. And I was the Street Kid, and I finished that one. Okay, I finished the Street Kid one. So now I'm going to load up and really get into Forbidden West. And I'm also going to load up Resident Evil 8. So I'm going to play that, even though it's in first person. I'd rather have it in third person. So somebody's playing Lego City Underwater and Ghostwire Tokyo. Okay. I've heard pretty good things about Ghostwire Tokyo. I heard it was solid, Tiny's Wonderland. Oh, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Okay, I see that. Well, that's cool. Somebody says, no, I thought somebody was playing that. Oh, what's up, Don? How are you doing? How are you doing this morning? Well, let's go ahead and talk about the Eurogamer article. And again, this happened yesterday. I was at work when this happened. I was at work. So, and I mentioned this the other day about, Microsoft doing it, how it's just not that big a deal. But as you can clearly hear, this does not come from me. This does not come from anybody else. This comes from White Zaddy. So according to White Zaddy, Sony is reportedly considering putting ads in FTP PlayStation games. So they go on in the article to explain why. And this is by Matt Walls. This was done yesterday. So shout out to Matt Walls. He works for Zaddy. Okay. This is so says let's see here. Let's make this bigger. Dun dun dun. I always like doing that. So let's go back one. Okay. So see now it says Business Insider. Okay. It says following reports earlier this week that Microsoft is considering introducing ads to free-to-play games on Xbox. Again, there's already ads in games. I said this, NBA 2K, FIFA, all those games have ads in them. Even the players in NBA 2K and FIFA have ads on their jerseys. I mean, come on. Okay, come on. It's happening. So, if you play a Call of Duty game and you're using an AK-47, the way it sounds and the way it recoils, that is realistic sound. So I don't know the recoil. I don't know if they've got that down right, but the way it fires, how it fires, and all that kind of stuff, that is advertising. You are advertising that gun in that game. So whether you all understand that or not, just because it doesn't have an ad next to it doesn't mean you're not advertising. So, but it says here it's working on its own plan to do the same thing with its PlayStation games, and it cites why. It says Sony plans as its sources to the company is currently investigating ways to encourage developers to continue making free-to-play games said to have soared in popularity during the pandemic by providing new ways to monetize them. Now, that to me makes sense. It's a free-to-play game. I want to put it on your platform. Sony says, okay, that's fine, but we don't want to have to pay you for it. And they say, well, okay, well, how about if we put some ads in there and that will help my game? I can go out and secure, and Sony and that developer, whoever this is making this free-to-play game, maybe Sony can line up some developers or some ad people to say, yes, these five people, people with these businesses will advertise in your game and they will pay you whatever, whatever that price is. So, and that's the way that works. So this isn't a bad thing. Okay. I don't, I get it. There's people, there's one or two developers making games. You can make a game by yourself. How many people create apps by themselves? They create their own app. So it is what it is. It is, so I feel, again, this is what I was saying the other day. I think this is fine. I do not think this is that big a deal. There were other people who thought it was, ha ha ha, ho ho ho. Well, now the joke is on you. Now the joke is on you, because again, people are going to create new streams of revenue. That's all this is how do we create another stream of revenue for people to keep making their games? So it says, at present, PlayStation's ad inventory is said to be limited to in-menu ads. So look, PlayStation is already doing in-menu ads. This is why I don't like, they're already doing it. It says, which can be used by publishers and developers to do things like promote their own games on the PlayStation Store and ads served via streaming video on certain apps. So again, at the present, meaning that this is already happening right now. And I just think what happened is let me make this clear. A lot of the ponies did not know this. And now they got hoe in them because I knew this. I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, they're already doing this. This right here would just be another way to create a different kind of stream of revenue for this group of people that make free-to-play games. That's what this is. It's nothing major. It's nothing crazy. So, and it says, however, Sony is currently said to be working with its ad tech partners to create new advertising opportunities for free-to-play developers that can be directly served in-game, with the goal of being to make them feel like a natural part of the experience, such as digital billboards and sports titles. Okay. So again, that's already there. If you play Madden or FIFA or MLB The Show, matter of fact, MLB The Show, it has one of those moving, what does it say? Doesn't it say PS5 or PlayStation? Like the players will come up the bat. And if you're looking at the batter, if you are using the pitcher point of view, you will see ads scrolling. I mean, this is how stupid some of these people are. But again, they built their channels on the console war, and they don't want to let go of the console war because that's what gets them their money. Again, go back to driving traffic to the channel. You build your channel on something, and now that's no longer available. So now they're just looking for anything. They're looking underneath the table. They're looking behind the desk to try to gloat about, not understanding that the console war is over. Sony already won that. It's just whatever games you want to play. If Xbox has games and Nintendo has games you want to play, go buy an Xbox and Nintendo and play them. Maybe you can answer the question why Kirby ain't got no pants on if you play on Nintendo. Like, why doesn't Kirby have no pants on? So, I don't get it. I mean, I can't walk around I can't walk around my city with no pants on. How come Kirby gets to do that? And why does it look like a piece of bubble gum? I mean, we can go on and on and on. So, says they're being strict about vetting ad tech companies for its private marketplace and is ruling out collecting personal information. Now, maybe I'm glad to see this. And again, I'm glad that they're not doing this, such as emails and names, because again, that's when you get into the whole, you sign up for something, you sign up to do, I don't know. You sign up to do, like when I started going to see, when I became part of NATO, the Theater Alliance, when I became part of that, I started getting all this mail on movies and, different read times and stuff like that. Like, I don't need this, so, but my name was put on a list, and that was part of being getting the card was part of becoming one of their people that gets mail from them. So even I didn't want it, you know, but still. Says one source claims the company is considering selling data on consumer activity on PlayStation to developers and publishers. So then it has a poll here, and I already clicked on depends on how it's implemented. So says Business Insider did of course share a similar report on Microsoft earlier this week, claiming the company was currently considering introducing advertisements to free-to-play Xbox games in a way that doesn't disrupt the experience of the gameplay experience. Again, how do you do that? Well, it has to be natural. So, but it sounds like this says, however, while Sony is reportedly already in talks with partners about its new monetization initiative, Business Insider was unclear if Microsoft had started pitching the Xbox offer or if its plans were still in its infancy. So, since Microsoft is said to be moving cautiously in order to avoid potential backlash from players. Yeah. So again, it just sounds like they're going to let Sony get in there first and see how that works, and then maybe kind of do something similar. So again, according to Business Insider, Sony is already ahead of Microsoft on this. Based on, that's the way I read that article, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, these are free to play games. I don't really play those games where you just jump online and start playing them. I think the one I did play was like H1Z1. So I did play that. But what could happen is somebody could have a vehicle saying H1Z1 and it would have an ad on it. Like the license plate would be an ad or something like that. So am I going to watch Gearbox Showcase? Yes, I will watch that because I'm off tomorrow and it gives me something else to talk about. So why would a pink ball need pants? Well, again, because it's got legs and it's technically not a ball, but I'm just saying, you know, somebody can go answer that question. The playing Ghostwire Tokyo makes you want to go back and play Dishonored. Yeah, well, that's probably what they're hoping for. That is probably what's up, Franco Tech. Let's see who else is in the buildings. That first story's over. So again, just like I said the other day, I don't care that they're going to do this on free-to-play games, mainly because I don't play a lot of free-to-play games, but it just wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't care. I mean, if your goal is to, you know, play King of the Mountain or flag capture, I'm not going to care that the building over there has got an ad in it. You know, so how many of y'all played The Last of Us Part 2? And I don't know if you realize if you played The Last of Us Part 2, there were PlayStation 3s in those people. Some of those houses you went into had PlayStation 3s. I don't know if you all recognize that or not. And what that is Sony advertising itself in its own game. So in its own virtual world that it built for you to transverse through, they put PlayStation 3s in there to advertise PlayStation in their own game. That was a way for them to advertise it. If you play Detroit Become Human and you play as Kara, when Kara is cleaning the house up, that dude is abusive to his daughter, Todd. If you look on top of his TV, he's got an old Connect box, the Xbox Connect. He's got an old Connect box up there on his television set. Again, that was them placing something in the game to advertise something that they did. A lot of people just didn't catch it. And guess what? It's organic, so you're not going to just be able to catch it. It's not something that's going to jump out. That's what they're looking to do. And again, I don't care. Hit the like button, people. I don't care if people do this or not because I understand it's a business. You know, I'm being entertained and I understand it's a business on their end. Thank you for making this. And I like this, so I'm consuming it. And if you want to put something else in there, you can. I'm not going to be mad at you. You know, I am not. I mean, it would be nice. What if you played the next Grand Theft Auto game and instead of your character wearing clothes that were, Rockstar has to make up the name of the clothes. What if the Rockstar is able to secure advertising from said company? You know, now you can put Michelin tires on your car. You can put Firestone tires on your car. You know, that's it. When you play Gran Turismo, if you put Michelin tires on your car or which are, I believe, are in the game, and Firestone tires on your car and slicks on your car, that is advertising for that product. It's already there. And I just think a lot of people did not recognize it. If you play MLB The Show, it said you bat with a Louisville Slugger. That is advertisement for Louisville Slugger. That's what it is. It makes the game authentic by adding the product, makes it authentic. Adding an authentic product makes the experience more authentic. Even the way the ball sounds being hit with the Louisville Slugger is in that game. So again, I think it's just a lot of people who want to be able to come out and say, ha ha ha, Sony has this, and are the other way around. And they don't realize how, like I said, they don't realize how dumb they sound. Like I said, when you had a podcaster say, I'm prepared to do what I can to make Sony do the right thing. I mean, that's how moist and corny and lame these guys sound. Sony's making more money with PlayStation than they ever have, according to Sony's numbers. Okay. So what can you do to make them do the right thing if they're coming back in there, seeing the numbers, and the numbers are just, oh, wow. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Now, if you want to just come out and say, I don't like the changes that are going on, so, I'm going to change, you can change your channel. You can just say, I'm going to, you can do what, shout out to what Kofi did. I believe they ended their podcast. They just, other stuff they had to do. Like, what did one guy say? Life happens, and, you get married, you have children, you just don't have the time, to do it. So, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. We'll move to now the big story here, which everybody has asked about, which is something called Sony possibly buying FromSoftware. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Marlon Gaming Nation, because I thought he did a really good job. And congratulations to him on moving and getting his house and securing, like he said, a legacy. I love the way he put that, securing a legacy for my children. So I love that. I love the way he said that. So just shout out to him for getting that done. That is a big deal. And especially now, houses are going up and they're costing like $350. Everybody's everything went up except for the people who have houses. Of course, they have fixed rates. But everybody else that has apartments and stuff like that, everything went up for everybody. And people are furious. I'm talking about they are walking around, snot and tears coming out of their faces because they're so mad everything's gone up. I was at the grocery store the other day, and I was shocked at the prices. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Even the ramen was gone. So I walked down the aisle with the ramen in it. Even the ramen was gone. Even the blue one, like the one nobody likes, the blue one, gone. The yellow one, the like creamy chicken, whatever it's called, gone. I mean, just gone. I mean, it was like, it's bad when the ramen is gone. It's bad. Oh God, I was laughing. So, but man, these houses cost $350, So, but let's give a big shout out to everybody that's here. I wasn't able to do that earlier. I jumped on the soapbox. So let's see here. Mario Heat's in the house. Says good morning. How you doing, Mario? Heckin' God Jet's been a while. How you doing? He said he's playing Demon Souls. Alrighty. That's fine. And remember, everybody thinks that they're finishing Elden Ring, but Elden Ring has a glitch in it. There is one more boss on there, and his name is 12 T-Flops, and he's at the very top of the map. And hopefully he can, you all can fight him, and then he'll tell you where the 12 T-Flops are. So let's see here. Lincoln Clay is in the house. Lincoln Clay VR says Mass Effect DLC. Yeah, you got that right. Let's see here. T Easy 83 says start the damn show. Yeah, I was a little behind today. I got all my shows to watch today. I got this place. I got to update the PlayStation. So I'm good. Yeah, Andromeda DLC was fired. Oh, no, Andromeda had no DLC. It was supposed to be the Quarian Arc, and they didn't even make that. They were like, man, this game's doing so bad that we're not even gonna give you all DLC, and everybody was madder than a hornet. So let's see here. Who else is here? JP Loco is in the house. Destiny is in the house. Ice Queen is here. So shout out to you all. All right, well, we'll move on to the big story. And the big story is PlayStation to acquire something called FromSoftware, claims a popular insider. So what I like about it is that it says here that PlayStation might be guaranteed. And remember, we were going to do this anyway, and this kind of book in and wraps up this entire series on whether it was Square Enix or Capcom or, Konami or Kojima Productions. So let's look at it from a point of, remember, the original report was that it was a Japanese company. So FromSoftware would touch that. Would it be as big a deal as, say, Bethesda, which is a publisher? The answer is no. And remember, that was part of the report. But it would be a big deal for Sony if they buy FromSoftware. And I did a poll on it. And there are still people who believe that Capcom or Square would be a bigger buy. And that's fine. That's what the poll was about. But majority of people said that FromSoftware would be a huge get. And my whole thing is that, and shout out to Marlon Gaming Nation, because he brought this up and he is 100% correct. The competitors don't have, like Microsoft does not have any games like this. Sony would effectively control an entire genre of game. Now, let me make this clear. I don't play these type of games because these are the type of games that I never could get into. And I'm not here to say that these games are good or bad. Just because I don't play it doesn't mean the games aren't good. This audience for Sony is huge. You're okay? So, and which I don't understand it because I don't play Bloodborne. I've not played Demon's Souls, and I'm not here to say that those games are good or bad. I've heard nothing but good things about them. All right. But again, it says they might be gearing up to buy FromSoftware. So says that this guy here, what's his name? Oh, Dr. Serkan Toto. He's the CEO of a Tokyo-based game industry called Catan Games. According to him, FromSoftware is rumored to be a merger and acquisition candidate. Now, this doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, okay, I want to really look at this. Just because they're a candidate doesn't mean that they bought them. This means that they've approached them. Okay, he probably has heard about an approach from Sony about it. So it says here that it was a pig management program. Oh my God, it was horrible. So, but it says this is not the first time we've heard about FromSoftware. It says that they put something up on April Fool's Day, which I didn't know they had done that. So, and I was off on April Fool's Day. That was a couple Fridays ago. So, it says, well, considering how rampant the rumors were, many did end up believing it a few weeks ago. However, unlike the other times, the source stating the information is much more credible. Yeah, there you go. And this is what makes it so believable this time around. So again, says if this news actually turns out to be true and Sony does end up acquiring FromSoftware, it could end up to be as one of the biggest acquisitions in the history of gaming, after the likes of Activision. Now, we got to remember, Activision has not been purchased yet. So, but I understand what they're saying here. And it says, it is quite surprising to see that FromSoftware is even open. It's open to acquisitions to begin with, considering that the developers have pretty much a dream run with Elden Ring, and that game is still dominating the sales charts even several weeks after launch. Whatever the case is, Sony already suggesting that new acquisitions are coming. It shouldn't be long before we hear about this more. So I don't disagree with it. So I think this would be a really good purchase for Sony. Again, let me make this clear. I don't play these type of games. So the people who do play these type of games, the Souls type of game is what they're called, Bloodborne, and who made the game Neo? I guess is Neo available on Xbox? I think what you would see, let's just say Microsoft, let's just say Sony does buy FromSoftware. Let's just say it does happen. Does this mean that I would think Microsoft would try to get Neo. I assume Neo is already on the Xbox, but if it's not, if this happens, look for Microsoft to go after that Neo game to at least get it available on the Xbox platform. So, Jeff B. Gaming says the Xbox don't want Sony to acquire FromSoftware. Okay. Mario says that why is David Jaffe salty these days? Well, I mean, again, he went on the round table and he got pummeled on the round table. And again, I've been on the round table as a guest. I was interviewed by King Thrash, and I was also interviewed by I feel like a heel. I cannot think of his name. But again, they ask really good questions. And Jaffe was tripping all over himself apparently with these questions they were getting. So, and they circled him like a bunch of sharks, and it's like, Neo is a Sony IP. Really? Well, that's unfortunate. So again, Jaffe to me comes across, and this is just the way he came across to me, is, get off my lawn. But when you backtrace it further, you will clearly see that Jaffe, like a lot of people, are in this whole paying $70 for games is too much, and Game Pass is king because it allows this, and this. And so that's kind of, there has to be a starting point, and that's where he starts at, and that's where his heart is. He and other people don't want to pay $70 for games. That's just the way it is. So the Neo is published by Sony in America and Europe, but is so they don't own the IP. They just publish the IP. That's different. Okay. Is that a Sony owned IP that they publish, or did somebody else create the IP and Sony publish the IP? So if somebody else created that game, Microsoft could, in theory, try to negotiate it coming over to their platform. And then, let me make this clear. That's if FromSoftware gets bought, and then these games are just all made friggin' exclusive. I mean, they could say Elden Ring Part 1 will always be multi-plat. It's not like they're going to drop service of it, but Elden Ring 2 will be only on PlayStation. Something like that. Again, I'm just putting it out there. It doesn't matter to me, because let me make this clear. It's just news to me. I don't play these type of games anyway. So did that Tecmo company make Tecmobo? That Neo is published by Sony in America. I get that, but is it owned by Sony? That's the question. Sly Cooper got no pants. Really? I didn't know that. I mean, I thought he did have pants. So are you sure? Sly Cooper ain't got no pants? Now that Clank, even that Ratchet and Clank got pants on. Sly Cooper, he does have pants on. Oh, actually, he does not have pants on. He got on a shirt. But his fur is made to look like he's got on pants. No, he's got something on. I don't know. He may not have no pants on. Let's look at it again. Yeah, he does have pants on. Actually, he does. Now, but in 2002, he did not have no pants on. You're right. But they put pants on him, by God. So, you're right. Winnie the Pooh ain't got no drawers on either, but I don't. You know, all right, so Tetbo Kyle is the owner because Team Ninja, the creator of Ninja Gaiden, is owned by Tetbo. Okay, well, if they're the owner, then Microsoft could, in theory, and let me make this clear. This isn't FromSoftware gets bought and then Sony comes out and they unzip their pants and they whip it out and they say, going forward, all their games are going to be only on PlayStation. Then Microsoft could, in theory, go and to try to talk to them to get Neo on their platform. Again, I'm not, it doesn't matter to me if they do or if they don't, because I don't play those type of games anyway. But I understand, it's a huge audience. I don't get it, but again, I love Mass Effect, and people don't understand why I love that game. So it is fine. It's perfect. I don't have an issue with it. So I've got zero issues. Says you're late. Oh, no, not really. Not really late. So we're winding it down, though, about another 20 minutes or so. Just pretty much in the Q&A. So again, do you all think, the ones that are here, that that buying FromSoftware for Sony would be a big deal? That's the question on the table right now. I'm on record saying I think it would be a big deal because it does allow Sony to just do, to do whatever, because they're the only place to play those type of games. They'll be the only place where you can play that type of game. So we'll have to wait and see. But we'll have to, I like playing my PlayStation games. I don't mind talking about them, but that's not the only thing I talk about. But yeah, hit that like button, hit that sub button. We are shockingly closing in on 1,700 subs. So now Chief Dambini says this is huge because everyone's sucking Elden Ring. So I mean, is that true? I mean, that's fine, but I'll give Chief credit. He's the only one that's answered. So Virgil says, what's up? Well, Virgil, the question on the table, shout out to you, by the way. The question on the table is if Sony were to buy FromSoftware, is it a big deal? So that's the question on the table. The sales are best on. You're right. You're right about that. You're right. But again, Paul Game says, no, it's not that big a deal. But again, I don't understand this. And I've said this before. If they were to buy Capcom or Square Enix, it's not like they're not going to prevent them from putting games on other platforms. That's what I don't understand. So, but FromSoftware, they could, in theory, with FromSoftware say, going forward, these games are going to be exclusive to our platform. And there's nothing nobody can do about it. You know what I'm saying? And I think they would do that. That's what I think they would do. Well, but that's just my opinion. So what do you all think? I mean, is buying FromSoftware a big deal? I believe it would be, but that's just me. What do you think? I've given you my reasons why. It's okay for you to disagree. Nobody's going to take your head off. So we answered the David Jaffe question. We've answered the whole thing with God of War. That's been answered. Corey Barlow actually gave a update for people on it. I think that's fine. I think that's wonderful. Again, I'm excited for God of War, but it doesn't give me a chub. You know, it doesn't. I'm not that excited. Let me make this clear. I thought that God of War I played in 2018 was a really good game. I didn't think it was the best game I played that year. I thought that was Detroit Become Human. So it is what it is. SME says it is huge because they would control the Soul's Journey, which was born on PlayStation. Yeah, again, that's I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree with you at all. I think it would be a huge deal. Okay. So, and that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it. It is okay to disagree, however. Let's make that clear. It is perfectly fine to disagree if you don't think it's that big a deal. Virgil says it's huge. Fanboys are using Elden Ring. I don't know how that's ammo. How is that ammo? It is a multi-platform game. So this will exclusively load Sony's gun. This would mean they would lock Game of the Year with 3 first-party games. Horizon, God of War, and Elden Ring. Again, that's if you think Game of the Year is that big a deal. See, I think it's a subjective title that they give out. Okay. So, what's up, Joe Roll, the man 47? So, again, so that's the question on the table. Again, they may not even buy it, but let's just say they did. I mean, I would be like, oh my God. And it says, welcome to the family. I'd be like, oh my God. I like that. But that's the question, Joe Roll, the man. I mean, it would Sony buying FromSoftware be a huge deal? Would it be a big deal? I think it hits all the marks for what we heard about it being a big deal for Sony. It hits the mark for it being a Japanese company. It's like a lot of stuff does line up. Now, I personally got told it was Square Enix they were buying. I said this the other day. But the person was bearish on it, so I just said, well, I'm just going to come out and say that I was told it was Square Enix. I don't think it is Square. Square Enix makes the most sense to me because, and again, I think that's more likely than FromSoftware. But FromSoftware, when you think of the type of games they make, you think of the quality, and that's what I remember when Herman Holtz, when Housemarque and Blue Point were bought. Herman Holtz kept bringing up quality. When they bought Haven Studio, Herman Holtz brought up the quality that Jade Raymond and the background of Jade Raymond and what she's done and things like that. So again, FromSoftware, we cannot deny makes quality content. Can't deny it. All right. So, even if you don't like it, can't deny it. So these companies need to stop delaying these games. What company delayed a game? Give me one company in 2022 that has delayed any games. Nobody has delayed anything. So, I can't think of one game that got. I mean, there have been some digital games that have come out, and the physical property, the physical side was pushed back. Kane and Bridge of Spirits, also Sifu. All right, so it is what it is. But name me one game that got delayed this year. They really need to buy Square Enix. They already work together just fine. Well, again, it's okay to disagree, but if they're already working well with them, why buy them? Forspoken was delayed. Okay, but that's okay. So Square Enix has delayed a game. All right. Redfall. Okay. Who makes Redfall? So Forspoken was supposed to come out in May. So should they have put out a game that was not completely together? But that's no, you've answered my question. So Square Enix delayed a game, and then Redfall. Who makes Redfall? Look that up here. Let's see here. Arcane Studios. That's Bethesda. So Microsoft pushed back one of their games, which was Redfall, okay. And then, okay. Somebody on the Xbox side. Sony should save the money and keep up the partnership with Square, but that's what they're doing. That Forspoken is a 2-year exclusive. That's part of the partnership. You know, Final Fantasy VII still has, I think Final Fantasy VII goes to PC in the fall. Okay, I think it goes to Xbox and PC in the fall. So, Suicide Squad got pushed back. Again, that is made by WB Games. WB was going through a major merger. Okay, they were going through a major merger, so let's let them slide. But if you want to count that, that's fine. So the Gotham Project and Suicide Squad got delayed. But come on, WB was going through. Final Fantasy Remake is already on PC. Oh, okay. Well, what it is? When did it go to PC? I thought it was only on PlayStation. Final Fantasy VII Remake. It does say it's on Windows. So is Final Fantasy VII Remake coming? That's right. It was on Epic. It was at Epic. So it says the port's a disaster. Okay, so apparently the port's a disaster. So that's funny. So I said PC. So I meant Xbox. It's coming to Xbox. I think it'll be in the fall though. Everybody is on the Square Enix train. So if they buy Square Enix this year, they would have Forspoken, and then what else? For Square Enix doesn't make. I'm trying to think what else they would come out with this year. PC got the worst version. Yeah, I just read that. It said that they got the. It said it's a disaster. So. Oh man. So of all those games that were pushed back, what game did you want to buy that you really wanted to play? I mean, because I'm still putting money on Forspoken. I got a whopping $9.77 left, and then it is totally paid off. I'll just walk in the store and buy it. I would just walk in the store and get it. But again, I'm asking. I mean, FromSoftware, is that a big deal? For me, it is. This is just a question going forward. Some people are saying it's not because those games are already selling well on PlayStation. Okay, I mean that makes sense. That does make sense. Sega bought by PlayStation. Isn't Sega making some games that are going to come out this year? I thought I read that somewhere. You're not impressed by Forspoken? Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. But again, that's a Square Enix game, and people are saying to buy Square Enix, and I'm like, well, that's one of the games, but you already have my understanding is Sony already has a 2-year hold on that game. So it's not going to be nowhere except PlayStation. I mean, it's just, it's not going to be nowhere but PlayStation. So it already is exclusive for 2 years. So I'm just trying to figure that out. But what else? Is for, you think Horizon was crowded by Elden Ring? Yeah. Elden Ring is a game that was on 3 platforms, and Horizon released on 1 platform. So it is what it is. They can't. I mean, it wasn't like they're going to push the game back. They had already pushed it back out of 21 into 22. I mean, and again, but Horizon has sold extremely well. So has Gran Turismo. Those games are selling. You know, those games sell extremely well. So, but yeah, did it get crowded? Yeah, any game that's on 3 platforms crowds out anything else. That's just the reality that we live in. So Final Fantasy 16 might be soon, might not. Well, okay. That's what I'm saying. The only game that's been announced is coming. I mean, is Final Fantasy 16 even coming out this year? I'm not saying. I mean, I know it's been pushed. It's going to get pushed back because that's a huge team that makes that game. I don't know if people have finished Final Fantasy games, but those credits roll for like 6 minutes. It's a lot of people on that game. Horizon are still adding patches to the game. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know a game that doesn't constantly get patched. So they ship the game and they are patching it. It's not like, but I was being told that the game was unplayable, that the game was like Cyberpunk. I'm like, nah, the Cyberpunk, you could not play that game when it first came out. Horizon was fine. Horizon was fine, but I was already playing Cyberpunk. Oh. You know, so I'm like, well, I'll finish Cyberpunk, and as Cyberpunk started winding it, because it does have an end mission. It has, like, if you go to this hotel, it comes up and it says this starts the ending of the game. So therefore, if you continue, you won't be able to do any more of your other quests. So the first time I played it, I think my character died because I chose the wrong thing to do. But when I chose to get with Pan Am, that was her name, like the airline, Pan Am. When I chose to get with her, I rolled off into the sunset with her. So, you know. But so they entered. They're entering. They mentioned something about entering final stretch not long ago, but Square can take forever. Well, that's my point. I mean, I'm not saying it isn't only. I mean, I know it's only been shown on PlayStation, but that doesn't mean it will only be there. FromSoftware made Bloodborne right. If they bought them, we could have a sequel. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. And so far, Bloodborne is only on PlayStation. It's not even. I don't think it's on PC yet. So. I mean, I will say this: if they bought FromSoftware, then all these people wet dreaming about this 60 FPS patch, they would get that patch. I'm pretty sure one of the things Sony would do if they bought FromSoftware is put a 60 FPS patch. I think they can do that the same day. I think that would be cool. I mean, I think they could come out. Let's just say they bought FromSoftware. They could say Herman Hulst come out and talk about the quality and FromSoftware brings quality to PlayStation with its games, and to add to that quality, Bloodborne will have a 60 FPS patch starting today. Have fun or something like that. Oh, you're in Hawaii. I am jealous. Hit that like button there for me if you don't mind. Shout out to you. I'm glad it. We got people everywhere. We'll kind of put a little tear in my eye. Damn, Hawaii. Where in Hawaii are you? And do you watch Hawaii 5-0? So, but where are you in Hawaii? So shout out to the Hawaiians. Give me a Hawaiian punch, please. All right. We got people watching from all around the world. I do appreciate that. It's shocking how I can sit here in the bluegrass state and friggin' talk to you guys from all over the world. It's amazing. I still remember America Online on Hawaii. Alrighty. Have a drink for me on the beach and have a good one. Texas is in the house. Alrighty. Good eating in Texas. Been there before. Hot, but good eating. Love Texas barbecue. Florida, I love the beaches, love the ladies in Miami. Good eating there too. Good fishing. Florida got the fishing award. Haven't been to Scotland, but I know there's a lot of drinking going on over there. So shout out to the Scottish and their drinking. Beautiful country, however. Beautiful country. Great history. for the Scots. So glad that shout out to everybody around the world. So that's like I said, amazing. Canada. Well, I don't know anything up there about Canada. Beautiful Niagara Falls. Let's say Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. Very pretty. So that's where I want to take my girl. I actually want to go to the Canadian Rockies, but it looks like we're gonna go to Niagara Falls. So, and the weather in Scotland, is it bad? Okay, I've never been there, so they don't have a 60 FPS Bloodborne because a native PS5 version has to be created. Maybe that's it. Could be. It could be. So that's, it could be something that simple. Meta VR live stream yesterday. Mobile level gaming be charged full price. This VR gonna crush Meta. I don't know. Meta, I don't know if you've seen that VR system. It is wireless. At least that's what I saw. Now, it could have just been a mock-up. But my understanding is Meta is wireless. PSVR only has one wire. So that either one works for me, but I'm leaning more towards the PSVR. Alberta and Edmonton. It's cold up there, isn't it? I know it's cold in Alberta. But the ladies up there in Canada love the brothers. I mean, at least that time I went up there, they thought I was like a superstar or something. So, they thought I was like some rapper or something. I was just sitting there drinking a Mai Tai. But I love the ladies, love the brothers up there. So you gotta love the ladies now. PSVR would have less wires. All right. I know PSVR is gonna weigh less and it has less wires, and that to me was the biggest drawback I had on PSVR was it had too many wires. Now, it made it uncomfortable for me. Uncharted would be a perfect VR title. Okay, we're gonna see. Apparently PSVR has gotten the latency issues are solved. You're gonna have to sell your Tyson Fury ticket. Oh well, yeah, get better. That ain't nothing to mess with. So the virus ain't nothing to mess with. So yeah. Mm-hmm. If VR makes you sick, it can. It causes vertigo. It will cause vertigo. So would the bot still vote Elden Ring for Game of the Year if Sony got FromSoftware? Great question. I don't know how that would work. So, but right now, Elden Ring is the only new game that has come to Xbox besides what, MLB The Show? And the fact that there were more people playing MLB The Show, which is a Sony first-party game, than were playing Halo, which is a Microsoft first-party game, that shows you Microsoft got problems. That's all I can say. You got problems. That is like somebody coming into your house and having sex in front of you, having sex with your wife in front of you. So, oh, your dog ate your PSVR 1? Well, bad dog. Bad dog. You hope Resident Evil 4 comes. I'm going to have to play Resident Evil 4 because everybody swears by that game. Like, how is it that good? I mean, because I liked Resident Evil 2. I love Resident Evil 2. I don't like that dude chasing me around. That's unsettling. But because people keep saying, well, all you have to do is run and break his line of sight. But he still finds you. Like, I ran away from him when that helicopter crashed, right? I ran away from him. All right. And then I ran to the other side of the police station and saved the game. And I mean, to the other side, I didn't go through that foyer where that black cop was turning into a zombie. So I ran past the black cop turning into a zombie. And then I went to this other place to save the game. Like, right, if you play Resident Evil 2, right in front of the steps there, you know, in the police station, you know what I'm talking about. And sure enough, he showed up over there. So I was that pissed me off. I thought, oh, okay, well, I mean, I was in the sewer. That's the only place I didn't see him was in the sewer. But then I was getting chased by somebody else who had an eyeball on their arm. And when you shot the eyeball turned red. That was hilarious. Resident Evil 4 is on Oculus. Okay. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, the fact that Sony has the most, if it's true that they got the biggest play game on Game Pass, so wow. That's all I can say. So, So, but Resident Evil 7 in VR, I thought was better than Resident Evil 4, but again, maybe not. I haven't played it. I played a little bit of Resident Evil 7 in VR, and that is good. That was a real good VR game. So yeah, oh man, it's almost 11 o'clock. All right, guys, I'm gonna jump on off here, and why the Today Show is still on? Good God, it's on. It's been on since 7 this morning. Oh my God! All right, so, but all right, guys, I'm gonna bump off here. I'm gonna actually jump on my PlayStation 5. So if you're not on my PlayStation 5 friend list, send me an invite, and I can hook you up to be one of my friends, and that's a big deal. And then we can play online and call in the B2 and get one-man army together. But all right, man, that is it. I'm out of here. Like I said, this does wrap up the entire series on what PlayStation is possibly going to buy. I think personally, Ember Labs, Deviation Games, either Square Enix or FromSoftware, to me make the most sense. If you're in Seattle by Microsoft headquarters. Yeah, I mean, again, look, when Bill Gates came down and talked at the University of Kentucky in 1987, I should have went to Seattle because my friend Doug did. Doug was like, man, you all don't understand. This man's a visionary. I got to be out there. And now Doug's retired. He has a house in Las Vegas and Miami because he went out and worked for Microsoft and got stock options. And when he slid everything in and out, he was a multimillionaire, and I could have been out there with him. But he followed his gut, and I was like, well, I think I'm going to stay here. So shout out to him. But all right, guys, like I said, I got no issues with the Xbox. To me, the Xbox is performing exactly the way it should. The problem is you got a bunch of moist-ass, fruit booty fanboys who said it was going to do a lot more than it actually can. PlayStation has better ray tracing. PlayStation has better frame rates. Yes, Microsoft has better resolution, but resolution isn't graphics. So I'd rather have high graphics, ultra graphics, and a lower resolution and good frame rate, okay, than better resolution, these good graphics, and shitty frames. And that's just me personally, but everybody is definitely entitled to their own opinion. Just go ahead and leave a comment on the FromSoftware thing. And again, this wraps this up. We've done Capcom, we've done Konami, we've done Kojima, we've done now FromSoftware, and we've done Square. So we're just gonna have to wait and see where Sony goes. I think, again, my opinion, FromSoftware and Square Enix make the most sense, followed by Ember Labs and Deviation Games. That's my opinion. But let's hear it from you. Or as Foxy Games UK would say, but what say you? Shout out to Foxy Games. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to bounce. You all take it easy. Stay blessed. Peace.